Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to The Burning Truth. Matt Burns has been a bit of a cock, and I went 5 seconds earlier than I should have done because it clicks to record and it decides to freeze for a little bit. So we're back. I like to do the introduction this week, since these two were arguing over it last week. I'll give them a bit of power and it goes to their heads. So
Well, bit of power.
Bit of power. I'll let you open up and it takes you half a minute to open the show up. So welcome to The Burning Truth. I am Nathan Goff. I'm joined by the bad boy of British wrestling, Matthew Burns.
Yep.
The destroyer of worlds, the person that is 4-1.
4-1?
4-1.
How?
Or soon to be 4-1 in about the next
yeah.
hour and a half.
Yeah, things.
The man that can't fuck off properly, ladies and gentlemen, Charles Kelsey.
Hello! Arms in the air and everything like that. We're here.
So, we're here. It's another week.
Another day.
Yeah. How is everyone?
Well, I'd say I'm in a generous and good mood. I'm in a generous good mood.
We know why, sunshine.
He's had
Keep that to yourself.
ear smile all day, and it's
It's
quite
not.
practically done me head in. How about you?
I know. It's
Do you
not-
know?
I like seeing a miserable bastard, not a
Yeah.
happy one.
I am happy.
We know.
That's why we're saying it. We like the miserable
Miserable.
Matt Burns. We like the miserable Matt Burns, not
You
not
mean,
a happy bastard.
You mean the one that gets tortured by you pair?
You haven't seen Torture yet, but be careful what you wish for. One day you might get it, sunshine.
because we will be the ones behind the ones in kicking your ass.
And when that day comes, which will probably be not anytime soon.
It could be sometime soon.
Very soon, if he's not good. Anyway,
I am good.
Yeah, but
So-
he's really happy.
How
You've
about
got quite a
yourself?
good smile on your face.
not
can-
really.
Computer-aided twat.
Basically, Mr. Goff.
Someone's feeling a bit of resentment.
Basically, Mr. Goff got screwed by the computer in FIFA. I thought I'd have a quick game before we come on. I thought I'd get my ass kicked and...
You don't use play football the games, do you?
Every now and then.
Every now and then.
He plays about as often as I do. The only difference is I get quite competitive.
Competitive. You can throw the pad across the room.
I never once threw the pad over the room. Someone threw the pad when they scored.
No, the battery came out.
It was explosive. It was necessary.
It was that boom factor.
Boom, winning goal.
But now, how are you, Mr. Goff? Apart from...
Probably about the same as I was last week, Here,
little
there,
bit up,
and
a little bit
everywhere.
down.
Yeah.
Pull from pillar to post, Seeing people that I really shouldn't be seeing.
And at least one person actually succeeded on a phone.
One person did what 20 of have failed. And that is to impress me.
She is the one.
They finally got through.
She was the one and 19 and 1. But
Hooray, one got through.
Yeah, but the problem is, though, we're going to see how she looks on
an
next week.
interview, but
Because, when you're over the phone, you can't see them. As everyone knows in day-to-day life. Anyway.
We'll have to see how that. We'll have to get back to you on that one.
But yeah, apart from that, it's been a good week. It's been a good week for wrestling. Not happy with NXT this week. Well, I haven't been happy for NXT the last 2 weeks, and now I've read the spoilers for the next month.
And
I am not happy.
He's not a happy bunny.
Triple H, you are screwing with my
Wait, wait.
emotions.
All I'll say is...
Do not fuck with my emotions.
Stop where you are before you get carried away. Just in case, if anybody's listening, spoiler alert, if anybody who doesn't read the dirt sheets and whatnot, or whatever.
You might want fast forward about 3 minutes. Well, pause, and then wait for it to go forward about 3 or 5 minutes, and then press play, and then fast forward it and see if we've gone past it. But I'm not happy with what Triple H is doing with my favourite tag team.
You're just upset, aren't you?
I am upset. This tag team could come out and blow the main roster apart.
Calm down, quit being swaffed.
They jobbed to Dash Wilder and his partner. They lost to the Ford Villains. This is the greatest tag team since the New Age Outlaws and the Jobbing.
Everybody has their ups and downs.
But they're losing to Nobody's... Just give them the belts and let them run.
They probably try and make new tag teams.
Don't give a fuck. Make new tag teams elsewhere. Do not fuck with my emotions. They are the only
I'm the one
reason
doing it.
I watch NXT. I don't watch for Samoa
They
Joe.
are the only ones you watch NXT.
Yes.
Fair enough. Fair enough. How about yourself, Kelsey?
Just watch NXT, some Japan stuff, some American stuff,
Yeah.
some British stuff.
Supposedly, there's this person coming over from Japan. I don't know if it's a big deal or not. Jushin Thunder Liger.
Yushin.
Oh,
Yushin.
Oh, let me do an AJ Hughes and you. It's Yushin! Yushin!
Is he a big deal?
I'll punch you in the cock. Fucking is he a big deal? He's fucking amazing.
Oh, you know,
Yushin Liger!
but it's someone from the 90s, and I don't even know if it's a big deal. Matt Bane's got uveitis again.
no.
Oh, that burns.
No, I haven't got uveitis. Don't worry.
He crying. He crying of joy. He crying of joy. God praise hallelujah.
But no,
Praise the Lord.
we'll let you build him up, because I know you're a bigger fan of him than I am, you know.
I mean, you never heard of him fucking before, apparently, so.
That would be... Actually, on the way here, I thought it'd be quite entertaining, you know, to toy with Kelsey's emotions a little bit.
He tries to be me, he tries to toy with people's emotions.
Of course he does. He always has to toy with people's emotions.
Yeah, what do you expect? That's why I was retweet our stuff.
Of course.
Probably got more than 8 views.
But no, it was quite an interesting... It was quite an interesting development. But I'll let you explain why Yushin Thunder Liger is a big deal.
Because Yushin Thunder Liger is like one of the premier light heavyweights technically in the world still. And he was like, as I said, in 1991 he had the massive feud with Brian Pillman over at WCW. He's been in Japan. He's actually in the 1980s was over here called something else, which I can't remember. If you ask Keith Meyer, he actually knows him really well. Because he was, before he got the mask and became Yushin Thunder Liger. But he's a really big deal. He works for New Japan Pro Wrestling. And there's been a bit of upset people going, oh, well, you know, New Japan can't do that because of, you know, doing stuff. You know, they can't, you know, work with WWE or Ring of Honor and everything. But, you know, it's just one of those things.
It is. It is. It is. And he's a phenomenal wrestler. He's an idol.
Idol.
Idol. Everybody knows him.
Man's got brain and he survives.
Yeah, he does. He's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And think about it, he's had matches against the current Finn Balor.
Yes, he has. And he's wrestled some of the greats.
Oh. And he has. You know,
I don't want to be part of it.
Carry on.
No, he's one of the greats. I mean, if you just look up some of his like old stuff from like 1996 with like Great Muta and Brian Pillman, and there's like a ton of it, and everything. Just watch him. If you've never watched him, watch him. One of the first Japanese people to do a shooting star press. I can tell you that
He
now.
was the innovator of the shooting star press, wasn't he?
No, he wasn't.
Hayabusa?
No,
Well, according
I
to
don't-
WWE's profile, he invented the shooting star press.
No, someone did it before, like 2 months before him. But they knocked themselves out doing it.
So, like Brock Lesnar.
No, a little bit worse than Brock Lesnar.
Oh.
But no, he's worth a watch. So you should look on YouTube, Nath.
I know who he is, really.
No, you don't. If you're touring my emotions, I'm going to make sure that you don't do it again. Or I'll punch you in the cock. I like you.
Such violence.
Yeah, the bad guy, yeah.
You know, so...
The villain. I'm not my
Such
score, though.
violence against, you know, I thought he was your main man.
Yeah, I
Hey, brother.
won't even mention that Kevin Owens is going to lose to John Cena this Sunday to him. Or otherwise,
No.
that could be enough to ruin this man's week.
No.
You're really trying to
Hell
upset
no.
him.
No.
He's going all out to upset you here, isn't he?
No, he's not. He can
It'll
say
just be like that, you know, because John Cena will be standing over him like that, mate.
And then, guess what happens then? The sequels come over and Kevin Owens will be doing, you can't see me.
And then he gets kicked in the face by Cena.
Properly. Oh, well.
You know, and then... It's a shame, because I actually don't want Owens to win the United States Championship. I want Cesaro to win the United States Championship. That bloke has put on a clinic for the last 3 televised shows
I know
out of 4.
I know we
He-
don't.
he-
men-
he
I know we
keeps
don't
doing
mention the B show for that. Well, I actually watched the B show with Rusev and Cesaro, and it's a really good match.
And it's the C show, because then SmackDown behind NXT.
Yeah, true. Sorry,
Oh.
the C show. I want to say the C show because you got the bitch show, and you got the good old C word show,
But no, it's...
the cock show.
But
Really?
NXT
Really?
has been
Really?
killing it with the
Yeah.
matches. It's a little bit thingy at the moment. It needs energising. It feels a little bit dead.
Yeah, but you always
The
gonna need
quest-
that. You can't always have it.
You can't always have it on.
because it'll burn people out, and they'll want to watch it sooner or later. So you always like gotta bring it up, you gotta bring it down a little bit. Then I'll make sure something happens and it'll be up again.
Roller
I
coaster.
bet you when the pay per view comes on with Takeover in Brooklyn, it'll be out because apparently
What? Carry on a minute and then I'll
apparently
ask you.
Bailey's going against Sasha Banks for the title, which she could probably lose because she's going to be put up to Raw.
Don't you think that Fingy should win the title first, Dana Brooke?
No, just no.
My reasoning behind this, Dana Brooke winning the NXT title would do 2 things for NXT. It'd give them a better exposure because she still competes in bodybuilding, doesn't she?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that she's got there. But it gives chance for Bailey to have that run a little bit further. You know she's eventually going to end up with it, but why not put her against a heel where she can overcome the odds? Like, because Dana Brooke's got the moment, she's got this process at the moment where her and Emma are going after the top. So the storyline should suggest that she goes after Sasha Banks.
But
Now?
but at the moment, Sasha is, doing the whole, being the boss.
I know,
Being
but her storyline is mixing in with Raw now, so she's going in with Raw and SmackDown, teaming with Tamina and Naomi.
So, wouldn't it be better for Bailey to take the title off Sasha Banks for them to have?
No, because why would you have a face versus face for the Women's Championship? Why not give it the heel? Because baby faces, and you may not agree with this, are always better chasing.
Because the crowd get behind him. It's simple. Bad guy, the villain has a title. Fuck you basically. And stop looking at my phone, you cheeky bastard. And then, of course, the face.
That's what he's
is just-
drinking to then.
Not the face, the good guy. Yeah, the baby face, we'll call it, no matter what. Chases after him, of course, you get behind him because they get so close. I think somebody gets taken away. It's like an up and down ride.
Yeah. So Bailey at the moment, she needs to start. She needs to start her ladder of redemption. So, if Bailey starts building up, because I think she'll face Charlotte. So I think she'll face Charlotte at Takeover, whereas Dana Brooke will face Sasha, and then they can be on her road towards the next Takeover special. And then that way, she's getting the push. It's a 6-month push, but she's got a direction, and the fans will get behind her every week a little bit more. And I swear to God, if one of you doesn't turn your vibrators off, I'm going to shove it up your ass.
And it's not me. It's not me.
There's one thing I did like.
I'm not the busy bunny here. Calm down, Kelsey. I can see that face.
Yes.
He's
Anyway.
smiling too much here. Are you the busy bunny here?
Yeah, anyway. I didn't like the Baron Corbin promo because he's like, these people who are going in gymnasiums and wrestle in front of 50 people. So Mojo's probably wrestling in front of like 20,000 in front of Japan. David's probably wrestled in front of like 50,000 in Japan. Sami Zayn's probably done the same, probably like 10,000 in probably the US, England.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought it was quite disrespectful, to be
I
honest.
didn't.
I did.
I thought it suited him because they're classing him as that sort of blue chipper, aren't they? So, not like a blue blood, but a natural born athlete. And they're giving him that heel persona of, I'm better than all of you people, you journeymen, How many of you can say that you've won everything that you've done? Because all you've ever done is wrestle. So I completely understand what's happening. And I understand the push. I understand why you wouldn't like it, because you're building up the same way that the people before you have done. The people like Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, Samoa Joe, they've all gone through the graft, whereas people like Baron Corbin don't have to now. The performance centre's around. They get plucked out of the NFL, get plucked out of League One football like Stuart Tomlinson did, and they get put into the Performance Centre. But the bad thing about that is they don't have the experience to work with people like Yushin Fundalaga when they come in for the one-off appearances.
Yeah,
because people like Finn Balor have worked European styles, Japanese hard styles,
And
American styles, Mexican styles.
Well, not as much American as he said. He found the American style a bit more
Yeah.
awkward. Because they have like a different style. If you ask anyone who's wrestling American, they have like a different style.
Every country's got a different style. Different
Most wrestlers have like different styles. Like, you know, you got different British styles and you got different American styles. Yada yada yada.
But
No, it's one of those things. Like, you liked it, I didn't.
yeah, but I could understand where it was coming from,
I
and
can too.
it helped to push that character of the lone wolf that I'm better than you. So from the
I do like his rings more
Post.
blingy.
yeah, you know, how many people do you know that have got that many rings from football that have transcended into wrestling? The last proper football that transcended into wrestling,
Titus O'Neil.
yeah,
There you go.
but Ron Simmons.
You got Ron Simmons. You got The Rock, but he didn't get as much. Was he injuries and everything else like
Monty
that?
Brown,
Yes.
I loved his finisher. The pounce.
No, you just liked how he just did it just from.
No, because he
side
always used to
slaps
ban, whip, and run across the opposite rope, and it was like a train wreck. But you could guarantee one thing, it always looked brutal.
Because he always fucking hit the guy. Take that!
No. It wasn't like he, come in, knocked the guy down. He literally just hit him. He didn't care what side they were. He just hit them full bore. You saw people going into the ropes, going all over the place.
That's what he's supposed to do, isn't it, though?
As you do, but I'm surprised he didn't knock one of them through the
I
ropes.
must ask you. It's only a few days until your elimination money in the bank match.
Yep.
How you feeling toward it?
Nervous, but also
How
excited.
the fuck you me nervous?
All you got to do is pin 5 other superstars. How hard can that be?
Only 5.
Only
Oh
5.
please, Scar and AJ rather than another thing. Autumn Fawn and White Tucker another thing. Who's the other guy? Tommy Taylor. Just pull his afro. He's just done.
That's your opinion.
With Steve, well, not
That's
Steve.
your-
Steve.
That's
AJ
your
Hughes.
opinion.
AJ
That's your
Hughes just make
opinion.
him lie down and be lazy.
That's your opinion. You think it's all easy, it's all fine and dandy.
It is.
He is deserving a whooping, isn't he?
I'm more curious. Are you still determined to go for the heavyweight championship?
Yes.
And how does it feel now that this will be how can I put this? How does it feel to have Blake now, a man who took you out, do what I did 2 weeks ago? Fuck off.
It's heartbreak. I'm disappointing. I find it disappointing because he hasn't. He's done the deed and done the run like a little child.
He's done just
You know,
the Timberlake song. The damage he's done, so I guess to believe him.
Really?
It's true though. The damage he's done, he fucked you up and he's off. Well, I'm sorry.
No.
You can't
but
go
if
really.
you're going to go to a company, the major goal should always be going for that main title.
Or was this major goal to come in, take you out, and take his money and go?
Well, then if that was his quest, he's failed at it miserably.
Well, he didn't. He took
No.
you out.
No,
For
not
a
from what I heard
No,
about the.
he took me out for a month. I'm back. I'm in the Money in the Bank.
Well, it's not. You're not. Back
I'm
on
in Money in the Bank. Where's he? Missing. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to come in because.
Where's that missing person report?
Quite simply, is he man enough to just turn up?
You'll never know. But moving on away from that, because that's until not next week, the week after, so we'll have time for you to put yourself over next week.
Oh yeah, I thought it's next week. Sorry.
So,
Getting ahead of yourself.
I am. I'm thinking like.
on a more important notice, one of the things I wanted to cover this week, and this is where you two actually come in useful, because both of you have quite a dynamic difference from each other.
One likes to get with the groove and the other one's a loudmouth.
What do you think makes an entrance special? So, an entrance, to me, is the first chance that someone gets to connect with a crowd.
The first impression.
Yeah. If an entrance is crap, you immediately think that person, you couldn't care less in my mind. So you need to have
The
something
entrance is a-
special.
Yeah, the entrance is always important because it sort of sets the tone of what the crowd should be expecting, what is to come for the match. Would you agree with that?
Of course, I mean,
Because if a guy just walks in and goes, puts his fist up, down, gets in, does nothing,
Can I
does
just
that feel
ask,
special?
why in England, in Britain, England, do we feel the need to always shout, wrestling?
I think it's just that.
It's not.
Why? I know why I'm fucking here. I don't need telling what I've come to watch. There's a 15-foot ring in front of me that
It
says...
depends. So sometimes you get 14 foot tall, 16 foot tall. That's unless you're at House of Pain, we get the nice big 20-foot ring.
Yeah, but why are we shouting that? Everyone knows why they're there.
I think it comes from the old world of sport days.
Yes.
Because, it's just that tradition, of course. I think it's just for something to go wrestling, because you're, passionate about it. I wouldn't know, because mainly good guys do it. I wouldn't actually think...
No, because you don't wrestle. You just punch.
Oh, brawl, I would do.
This man does the best real butterfly I've ever seen.
I must admit, I do.
The one move. Which even I'll put my hand up and say it does look sweet.
Oh.
It does look sweet.
He also does a really stiff European uppercut.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, I've actually used it quite a few times.
Oh no, I was probably concussed from the death blow.
No, I didn't do it on you.
But he does use a good stiff European uppercut, very William Regal-esque.
Mm-hmm. And I use a nice big punch. Twat.
Which isn't wrestling.
He's got more moves than John Cena.
Punches aren't wrestling.
Why
I've
on?
got a suplex, I've got a bicep, I've got a fall-away slam,
Fair enough,
I've
fair
got
enough.
choke slams. Just because I'm a big guy and I feel like I like marking out the cane every time I do it.
And yet I haven't seen you attempt to choke slam me.
What is your
Actually, wait. Smart man.
Back! I got a kid to think about.
I'm a cheat!
I
I'm a real boy!
don't think I could take it if I did it to him. I'm like, no! Don't you dare do that to me! Ever! Never! I'll kill you where you stand.
That does bring a funny memory from the last match I had against Alessandro, who did actually try to attempt to choke
Why
slam me.
don't you call my name? Call my name, Alejandro.
It's more like, where's my pizza?
But no, I think that an entrance should be like, since it's your first impression, it should be like, make a stand out so the crowd either get behind you or they realise that, they don't like you.
Because you've got quite a dynamic entrance.
Down!
Dynamic is probably the
Colourful.
first word that I can
Dynamic
use.
and
that's-
colourful.
Yeah, that's probably clean.
Chickens come down!
Know? Like, there's plenty of other words I could use to describe your entrance, but I won't.
Too much dancing.
I've heard it all, but it's me.
But it is dynamic, it's
Yeah.
enthusiastic, it's colourful, it gets people going. But what made you want to, come out flip-flopping and flying?
Why not?
Why do you want to do like the Harlem Shake? You don't
No,
like your
but
entrance.
Why not?
But what inspired it?
I mean, you must have watched something like one of like WWE entrances or like one of the independent shows and thought, you know what? If I mix this guy's entrance with this guy's entrance because I like both of them, if I make it my own thing as well.
Were you inspired by Disco Inferno?
Not really. I'd say I was a fan of Rikishi. Big guy who can move.
But
But
Can't
there's
deny
also...
that.
What?
Can't deny that.
Can't deny that. He's
What?
a big guy who can move. But there's also, as you keep saying, Mr. Flip Flop and Fly, Dusty Rhodes.
No, he's Mr.
what
Mr.
inspires you to go with that entrance? Because it gets the crowd going, but what made you think that, you know what, if I do this,
Yeah.
they'll get going?
No, it's simple. It's just me being me.
Yeah, but you must have thought like a
No,
process.
it's
No,
me
I know
being
it's
me
that-
because if I can't be myself in front of that crowd, if I don't have that, if I don't feel, I can be myself in front of that crowd, how can I believe in myself and how can the crowd believe in me?
But the thing is, what I was trying to explain then until you interrupted, which is completely fair enough because you're trying to, you know, say it from your point of view. But you must have thought like when, because I had never seen you actually as the good guy since I know you, which is a fair fact. Because every time I saw you, you were like me, a villain, a nasty bastard. But then you know you suddenly thought, but you know, I like the crowd now. They're getting behind me and everything like that. So I mean, you couldn't have done it straight away going, I'm going to do this and this, you know, I'm going to be me and like that.
No,
I'm sure you must have like
that.
you know you've had to process it.
No, it wasn't just that. It was I was going down that wrong path. Wrong path, which I do call the wrong path.
Okay,
I call it my dark days.
Okay,
dark days.
My dark days.
I thought you said
okay,
your dark
I'll
days.
rephrase it this way to you.
No, I was in my dark days. I was constantly, and you're wrecking the place.
Take that, studio.
It was my dark days. I was constantly losing. Things weren't feeling right, and it almost led me to a point where I almost quit because it didn't feel right. But then I had someone sort of give me advice, and then sort of inform. Why don't I just be myself?
One of our listeners has just said the entrance is like the start of the story.
It is.
Like the first look at the character.
It is.
I will name her as Miss Cat.
Yes.
Because if you have a bad entrance, you do lose them, and if you have a good one in the palm of your hand, which I agree with what she just said.
Yes. And if but like I've always said, if I can't be myself, then who can I be?
Okay, I'll put it to you this way. So most of the good guys, they come out and they go around and they clap hands like they don't do.
I hate that.
I know, but like they don't do the.
I can understand the first row. Yes, the first row's fair enough, but not every single bastard in there.
But like
that's just annoying. It's like sorry for interrupting you there.
But like they don't come out and do what you do. So there must have been something in your head that went, you know what? I want to be different.
He watched Bret Hart and was like, oh. Bret Hart gets his glasses out. I'm going to get mine out too.
But
and
like,
blind little kid though.
Because Too Cool, like they clapped the thing and then they didn't go round the ring. They got in the ring and started, busting a quick move. So what made you go to, you know what? I'll dance all the way around and then I'll do a bit when I'm in the ring. What inspired that bit is what I'm trying to get at.
It's a mixture of different wrestlers. A mix of different, wrestlers who I'm fans of. You got like Rikishi, but there's also some of your legends. As such, you got like your British wrestlers. You've also got the American Dream, who he was charismatic. He was,
if you will.
He didn't. He could sell tickets without even selling a word, without even speaking a word. But he could also do the opposite. He could also sell out arenas without even throwing a punch, without even doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
He was that charismatic.
Yeah, it's true. So
what made you to come out? And I'm talking to Kelsey now, so you're not expecting me to go back to Mr. Burns.
Yeah.
What made you want to come out and
Shout
scream
winner.
at the top of your voice?
Winner.
I think if I'm going to have a guess here, he wanted to disorientate the opponent.
No, when I first started, I used to be that typical bad guy, because I was 6'4", I was big, I should husky walk, it didn't work, then, that wasn't me, and then I became a different character, because I made a big deal, and I used to just stand there, it wasn't good, it wasn't me, then I just realised that I like to shout, I like to insult people, and I think I am a winner. So it made me do that, and when I first started doing it, it annoyed people. But I knew I had them, because, who likes to marry a 6'4" person? Not many. That's how it is for me. That it's me now, because I went through the phase of not knowing what I wanted to do. But now since I know what I want to do, it's easier for me, if you get what I mean.
Okay, so like
It's
the
more
actual
natural.
entrance is only one part to it. But it's the music as well. So when I think of greatest entrances ever, I think of the Sandman. If you go back and you listen to One Night Stand from 2005...
Without the WWE version.
Yeah, if you go on Daily Motion, you will see the most iconic, passionate version of Enter the Sandman you will ever witness. And I played it for you two last week because you two didn't have to realise that WWE had dubbed over.
No, because I've got it on DVD, so it's easy for me. But
which did quite surprise me.
But the funny thing is, though, there's actually one that's better, where they actually have to play the song twice instead of just the one.
Which was the one when he returned in 1990 something.
Yeah, and then he ran out of beer, and luckily someone walked past and gave him some beer, so he was like, yeah, some beer.
I know, but I think
though, like you said, though, it was like,
that entrance to me was iconic.
It was because it was
It's
the
unique.
Sandman for the Sandman, and it actually suited him because of what he did.
It's unique. It was his.
So, what made you go with the funk with
Funk Soul Brother, check it out now. Funk Soul Brother.
the Shawshank Redemption?
The Shawshank Redemption.
Which is a movie title, but there's a little pun behind it for him.
Yes. I got the pun. In my early years, I was a fan of Fatboy Slim.
Yeah.
And before I actually started in wrestling, there was a wrestler under the name of Dirk Feelgood, who also used a Fatboy Slim song, which I'm just trying to remember the name of the song now. I think it was Gangster Tripping?
I don't know, I've never met the guy.
I think it was
I've never watched the guy, to be
Tripping,
honest.
the song.
Gangster Tripping. Don't research it, you're talking.
No, but it's sort of, it was unique, it was special, and for me, I was a fan of that song, right about now, Funk Soul Brother. It just stuck, and then when it came to deciding, I was literally in a car on the way to a show trying to
Oh, I know.
trying to decide,
I was there.
and it was
Poor
literally
Nathan.
going, change it. It could have been any.
He went through 30 fucking songs. 30 songs he went through to get to this song. But I want to know what process he went through in his head, to pick the songs and then to finally go. I
already got who I was, and as soon as it started, it just brought back all memories. It felt like it was a song that is close to me.
Right, so you use Minus Human by Metallica.
Yes.
So what made you pick that?
I've always liked... I know. I heard somebody...
humanity?
Ish.
There we go.
Very close. No, I was wrestling for PWL, and they used it for K Callus. And I adored it. But I never knew what the song was called. Never. But of course I went through a couple of songs, and I went through Bad to the Bone.
No.
Now when I found out at United I couldn't use it because Stevie Mitchell was using it, which is fair enough. I mean, you can't...
The Rough House.
The Rough House.
Then I found out what that song was called because I listened to the S&M album. Then I listened, I was like, I'm having a fucking song! And ever since then, when I was first tagged with Chris Drew, I went, he said some ridiculous idea, some nice little piano music. I went, fuck that, we're having this. Promoter boy, put this on the laptop, I'm having it. Can't say his name.
No. I just like how the explanation. You don't go to the DJ. He's the straight to the promoter.
Promoter's got to give it to the DJ. Like, promoter boy, yeah, have it. 2 now. And I have it, and then ever since then I've used it because it just, as everyone knows, I don't like people. I'm like, just don't like people.
I know. I've seen you screaming in people's faces.
No, I refuse to do that.
No, not actually screaming in the face, but you're loud enough that it feels like it's in the face.
I'm louder than a microphone, as Bouncer will tell you.
Yes, you are.
I'm louder than my own music sometimes.
From time to time, I actually do wonder when you can actually break our microphone at some point because you're going to scream that loud.
No, I don't scream
But
at this microphone.
I believe an entrance has a vital part. Just like in boxing. Like, the most iconic entrance in boxing to me was Vladimir Klitschko's, where the Red Hot Chili Peppers Can't Stop.
Yeah.
Like, that is thingy, but the entrance music, it describes it, because you recognise a person from the music. If the glass hits,
Stone Cold.
and if you time to play the game,
Triple H. Or if you smell.
yeah. But if you heard the trumpets at the beginning, you knew it was Kurt Angle. And all I was listening for was, you didn't know.
Or like Hogan's like, Hogan's all Warriors automatically, boom, high impact straight away.
Yeah, and Vince McMahon's, you've got no chance in hell. But whereas now, I feel like the entrances on the main stage, WWE, they're getting a bit generic. All of them sound the same.
Well, the guy, Jim Johnson, I think his name is Jim Johnson.
Jim Johnson does partly do some of them, but there's also
Quite a few. He's like the main person, but he knows what he's doing. But some people just like it's like, you know, think, oh, I quite like this song, but it doesn't suit my character. But I quite like this song, so I'm going to use it. It doesn't describe them. That's what the thing is. I think if a song can describe how you feel, then yes. Like,
I know it's WWE. It's not just Jim Johnson that also does the themes now. It's CFO Dollar. Is it?
I think
It varies from person to person,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it usually is done by Jim Johnson. But there's very few that get a unique. Like, as soon as you hear John Cena's music, that first line,
But you know,
I hear
sort of-
voices.
He's involved.
yeah,
Randy Orton was like, I hear voices in my head.
which is done by Red Fury. Isn't it?
Yes.
But I feel like the entrances would feel a lot more unique if they were allowed to pick the band that they came.
But the thing is trying to get the licensing now, because I know that's quite a big problem. Like, whereas it was easy for Triple H to get it because he was watching them and they loved
And
watching him
he's
wrestle.
also good mates with the lead singer.
Yeah, it's just one of those things of trying to get it right,
Yeah,
really.
Like, it's the issue Grado's having in America at the moment.
Yeah, with Madonna.
Well, I don't know why he doesn't use Madhouse version.
No, because
It's still by her.
it's still her copyright.
Yeah.
Technically, because even if it's someone else who's covered it, it's technically her song.
So, but that is the most iconic song in Britain at the moment.
Yes, as soon as you hear "Life Is a Mystery," boom, you know it's great out. God, done.
And the place erupts.
It doesn't have to finish the, life is a mystery. It's just life done.
That is the only wrestling theme I have ever seen sang back without music. I've never experienced that before, and I think it'll be a while before.
And you're involved in it.
Yeah, and I don't think I'll ever experience it again for a while. But that was unique. It isn't rare where you get a wrestler's theme sang back to him without the music.
It's
at
special.
NXT,
It's special.
At NXT it happens when the music's playing. You get Becky Lynch's theme gone along, and Adam Rose with the oh.
Or you got and on WWE itself, Fandangoing. Did it?
Well, everyone was doing it outside the WWE, weren't they?
Yeah, they were, but it's sort of it's stuck.
But again, that was Britain.
Yeah.
The Brits got that started. So, we'll move on to one of our first questions that we've had from the listeners. Now we covered that little subject. So, we'll answer from Mark.
Yeah.
Who is the person who deserved the WWE title run, but is now dead and never got one?
Ooh.
Or, well, not dead.
Or
Well,
sort
who
of
hasn't got
in
one, who
history.
is retired.
Piper.
Or dead.
Piper and Dusty. Dusty deserved it regardless of every old heavyweight
But
champion.
Nick won.
I was discussing this with him earlier. What does he count? Because didn't he get
WCW.
Nope, he got it NWA.
You got an way.
Okay, fair enough.
He got NWA, he didn't get, it wasn't past WWE or WCWs, it was always NWAs. So we only had to pick one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Piper.
Oh.
He's going to curse you.
I don't care.
I'm not actually. I'm not.
Piper deserved it because of the fact of he was the major heel who started riots back in the 1985. Yeah, 1985. You can wait whoever just text me.
Popular.
Yeah, I know.
Even though you hated.
Oh well. And he would just bore people, and he would work the crowd. If he was champion, it would have actually gave like Hogan a chance to chase after him and just like get the people more behind him, get those more fans and more fans inside those arenas and more fans behind WWF. That's my reasons.
Now known as WWE.
Yeah, but back then it was WWE, World Wrestling Federation, if you
Yeah.
don't want to know what it is. And not World Wildlife
I'll
Fund.
let you go.
Mine. Well,
And then after I can't be accused of stealing.
don't worry. I don't know what your pick is going to
You
be.
don't.
I'm going to avoid it.
It's quite nice.
However, I'm going to mention Jake the Snake Roberts. Phenomenal mind. He knew how to work a crowd instantly. He didn't have. He wasn't the most. He wasn't the biggest guy, but he knew how to work the brain. He knew how to, use psychology to his best advantage. He could play mind tricks.
Yeah, he was a master at. He was like, if you watch the DVD, he was like that person came
He did an
Dark
interesting
Age.
promo with The Undertaker, didn't he?
Yes.
And the Ultimate Warrior, getting Ultimate Warrior to overcome his fears, and then he turned on Warrior at the end of it.
Yeah.
But that was like because of they were supposed to feud, and of course, Warrior got fired. So.
Which was quite
And the sad fact was,
dramatic.
the sad fact is as well, Roberts and Hogan were actually going to have a feud. Roberts could have actually probably had the title, but instead of going for Hogan, they changed for DDT. DDT. And of course, they don't want to cheer for Hogan, do they? So of course, Vince went, I'm not having that, my major golden goose here ain't getting there.
Well, it's the same thing that happens with Cena at the moment. If something rises above him, Vince kicks it into the ground until people don't want it. A couple of months ago, people were shouting, "We want Lorna." Now it's we want Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch.
Flavour of the month is what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah, it changed it, and all I think some people are very unappreciative because 1 minute they'll want something, then if that person gets over and starts getting what they want, they'll go, "Oh, I don't want that. No, I want something different." It's like, no, you can't.
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's like it's sort of like I want that one. When they've got it, it's like, oh, I don't want that one now.
That's what I feel with Cesaro.
So what you're thinking is, once they've got what they want, they don't want it really.
Yeah, it's, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about who should have deserved the WWE title. As well as mine's Piper, yours was Jake Snakes and Mr. Goff.
I am going to go for Billy Gunn.
Ooh, didn't actually expect that one.
He had the athleticism. He was liked by the crowd when he split up from the Outlaws, when he went his own separate way.
Yeah.
All the talent in the world. Still got the Fountain of Youth, can still go today. But he never quite fulfilled his full potential because people never got behind him as a single superstar. But I believe that potential was there given the right gimmick. He could have had the push that JBL had in 2004.
That's the problem with tag
That's
team wrestlers.
That's sometimes yeah.
When they come out of the tag team.
Because he had the run with the Intercontinental title.
He did.
But he never went on from there. And that's to me it was a shame. Because if you look in DX, if you look at the quality of the superstars in DX, the next one behind Triple H, and always in my mind, was Billy Gunn.
Possibly, but the problem with a lot of people always associate Billy Gunn as one half of the New Age Outlaws.
All the smoking guns, all Billy and Chuck.
He was more of he got known to be more of a tag team specialist. He wasn't really known, and sometimes, like what with you saying with JBL, he got his break. Sometimes
wrestling.
just having the right gimmick coming along can make a difference, but it's got to be at the right time.
Like, I believe Billy Gunn got Dolph
You
Ziggler
believe?
treatment.
You believe?
I believe. Billy Gunn was the Dolph Ziggler of the 90s and the early 2000s.
Yeah. You had Billy Gunn. You had John Morrison.
Even though some
There you
people,
go, Ziggler.
even though some people are actually questioning if Billy Gunn is
But if
Dolph
that's
Ziggler's father.
because we haven't had an English world champion. So, if we were going to pick one from England, I would have to go the British Bulldog.
Oh. Well, you've already picked your...
I know it was Billy Gunn, but as an honourable mention,
Definitely got to
the
be an
British
honourable
Bulldog,
mention.
again, held all the titles apart from...
And another person who can be an honourable mention is the person who actually, is the person who, Mark Brunley, the person who asked the question.
Owen Hart.
Which is Owen Hart, who, as we all know, had the unfortunate tragic moment as the Blue Blazer. But, could he have stepped up?
He would have had a thank you run sooner or later, Mark Henry got his thank you run.
Took him 15 years, but he got that thank you run.
Kane got...
His worst friend was bullshit. He should have got it for like at least a month.
Kane should have had it...
Should have had it for a lot longer than just a day.
Yeah.
But Kane got a thank you run. When SmackDown was the B show, as you called it earlier on, there was a lot of thank you runs given, Christian, Mark Henry,
Well, technically,
Kane.
Some people could argue Christian could be on that list because he never won the WWE Championship.
But
he won the World Heavy. It's sort of, but it's not like the main
No,
to
but
the WWE.
if Owen Hart was still alive and with us today, he probably would have had a thank you run.
An honourable mention for me would be Vader.
Big Van Vader.
Big Vader.
Because if anyone's heard the story, he was planning to. He would have been Sid Vicious.
Yeah.
If him and Shawn Michaels didn't have an argument in the ring, and that's where you got the "Get up, you dumb fuck" and stuff. It was like,
Oh.
So, no, we got some nice honourable mentions now. I think.
Well, I suppose there's one more that you could probably count on that. Giant
Junkyard
Pillman.
Dog.
Yes.
Charismatic to a T.
The Loose Cannonball.
But if you have Brian Pillman without the injuries, then yes. But Brian Pillman with the injuries, where he couldn't do as much, no.
Yeah.
Even I'll go say the no on that bit because it was like
It's a bit of a hit and miss with it.
because if you got the title, then you got injured, then you couldn't defend it.
What about
the infamous Danny Bryan scenario?
what about the NWO's Scott Hall?
Oh.
Scott Hall was
Formerly known as Razor Ramon.
Scott Hall was good enough for a world title. What about Kurt Hennig? If you're giving honourable mentions, there's quite a few.
Yeah, perfect. Rick Rude.
Perfect.
I thought Rick Rude should have had
Rick Rude.
Goldust.
it.
Would you class Goldust as an honourable mention for people that didn't get a world title?
Yes, because I'm sorry when
I don't think they would have given him the WWE, but they would have given him the World Heavyweight. Sorry for interrupting. I do apologise.
I believe.
Would you care?
If you will. No,
Yep.
it's the fact of
I
when somebody like he was the American Dream son, Dustin Rhodes, and when your dad goes, Vince McMahon does this, he gets his hand out and goes and grabs you by your top and goes, "You ain't Dustin Rhodes anymore, boy," and makes him into Goldust. That's just on its own should be worth getting the WWE title, to be honest. And he made that gimmick work.
He made it all. He
revolutionised creepy in a way. He made that sadistic. Come on, how many guys do you see kissing Ahmed Johnson? None.
No. He even was after Razor Ramon's machismo.
Exactly. He was doing stuff that nobody else was.
He was developing a whole different mind game.
Exactly. It was brilliant.
Genius.
Do you think, and this is one for the future, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we'll be saying Cody Rhodes is unlucky not to have a world title?
We might be, but we'll see in 5 years.
We might be,
though.
but it would be a shame.
Because 5 years ago I was saying that's your future world champion. When he was feuding with DX and part of Legacy. Now he's been with WWE for 7, 8, maybe 9 years.
And you're sort of beginning to dwindle on if he's ever going to get to the...
Yeah. Will he have Drew McIntyre syndrome?
Or is that upper tier but never used properly?
Could have.
But I can understand why it's called Stardust, though.
Would you care to...
Basically, the reason why it's called Stardust, if you know anyone who's read Dusty Rhodes or heard anything about Dusty Rhodes, always mention, he's like Stardust. Now, reach for the stars is Stardust. Stardust. His dad's phrase. Like, shoot for the star, you get that Stardust. Well, Cody Rhodes went, you know what? Instead of being Goldust, like Companion or some random name, call me Stardust. In honour of his father. Before even he was dead, so...
Do we think that Goldust might get a quick run before
No.
he retires?
No.
Unfortunately, as much as
As much as I go, yes, no.
I'd want it
Because
to
you can
possibly
make
happen,
it a transitional champion. There's enough pay-per-views in the year to transition the belt of God.
I don't think they would.
Because I saw The Miz as a transitional champion. Because The Miz will never have a world championship run again. That is really bad, now that I think of it. We've listed 10 people
We should have had it.
who should have had it.
And then you just mentioned one that's had it. Who do you think shouldn't have had it?
No,
Jack Swagger had it. I don't think he deserved it.
Did he have the WWE?
he had the world
He had the
heavyweight.
world.
Yeah, it's still technically...
He's still a WWE World Championship
Okay,
belt, though,
okay.
isn't it? But when you look at them two,
Great Khali didn't deserve it.
I know why you got it though.
India.
Yeah, that's a big population to reach out to in terms of revenue and people over there. And he was their biggest celebrity
Ever.
So when he went over India, he sold arenas out, even though he couldn't wrestle.
Couldn't wrestle the top of it, but...
Then he could hardly walk, but
I'm not. I don't even mention what his job.
well, I was a police officer before, wasn't he?
Police officer, then he kills somebody in a wrestling ring from actually the brain chop.
Ouch.
Yeah, he went down way too hard and broke the guy's skull and killed him. And then something happened somewhere else, and they got WWE.
But looking at hindsight, and this is an interesting question, because we're on about like the foreign characters now in WWE.
Yep.
Do we think if the thing with the Iraqi war hadn't happened, that Muhammad Hassan would have been a world champion?
No, he wouldn't, because he couldn't take heat. He didn't want the heat.
It wasn't just that. It was. They also had the whole segment that they had
I've
with.
just said if that didn't happen, if that segment was
Yeah, he said-
wiped,
Oh, you mean the whole?
yeah,
Yeah.
was wiped,
No,
From
he couldn't
history.
take heat. He couldn't take heat.
would we be talking about Muhammad Hassan being a world champion?
No.
Because he was the top heel at that time.
He was, but he didn't actually like the heat. He was actually afraid of the heat, and I'm sorry.
He was getting a lot of heat and death threats.
Yeah, I know it's a bit different. I know you go, actually, what are you on about, Dave? Dave? Who's Dave? I'm talking about my brother now. Shit me. Shot kills, you got a man who's, getting death threats. Yeah, but there's a big difference. He received death threats. But a lot of people receive death threats and not get killed.
Everybody's different with their
And unfortunately,
reaction.
Muhammad Hassan couldn't take it, so they went, you know what? And he had a big problem with The Undertaker. He was very, very, very rude to The Undertaker. And that's why The Undertaker broke his nose and gave him 2 black eyes. They took him through a stage, because he could.
And as they said, they took out that character away from wrestling. He sort of
He went away, and then luckily Daivari stayed, and Daivari became quite a good talent.
Yes,
Did he?
Yeah.
He's
So-
a jobber, wasn't
he's
No.
a good wrestler.
He's a very, very good wrestler,
he?
actually.
He may be a very good wrestler, but
He was a job in WWE, but when he went everywhere else, he wasn't a jobber, so...
It wasn't. Yeah. And I've actually seen Daivari.
I know because he wrestled under Sean Daivari in TNA.
He wrestles as
Sheikh Abdul Bashir, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
He wrestled that, and he wrestles Daivari now, which Leighton Cole has wrestled,
yes,
and that's how I found out.
and I believe he's also wrestling Lucha Underground.
Don't know. I
He's also wrestling in Lucha Underground, which
What? Quickly, why is Vampiro wrestling?
Hmm?
In Lucha Underground?
it's to do with a bit of
Storyline.
storyline. It's to do with the Mr. Armbreaker.
Alberto
Alberto.
No.
Al
Is that-
Patron.
No, it's not Al Patron. He's doing his thing with Johnny Mundo. I'm just trying to remember the character's name, but there's a heel character who's been going around breaking arms. Okay, a villain.
Thank you.
He's breaking arms, and he came to. He's wrestling. I'm trying to remember.
Somebody.
I think it's Star Molester, and he went for break her arm, and Vampiro sort of said, "Right, enough's enough." You know, you have to stand up.
He looks rough nowadays, though.
Just because he may not look his best, but if he can still go, he can still go.
Fair enough. Was there any more questions, by the way? Before we
Yeah.
got enough our tangents.
Yeah, I was going to bring us back into it. So,
Big left turn.
Keep
So-
trying.
another question that we had that was asked to us was, do we think that female valets have been faded out, or why do we think female valets aren't as used as much in wrestling anymore?
Because they want to be independent now. They don't want to be the valet of somebody. They want to be wrestlers. They want to make it on their own now. They don't want to be that person who. Oh yeah, she valets Matt Burns. Let's say no. I know.
Carry on.
You know, she valets Matt Burns.
The question is I think with that is, when they're coming into it, do they just want to? Are they just be there? Just to walk people down to the entrance, to the ring, or do they want to be in the ring themselves? Now, some people could argue that, saying, you've got. I'm just trying to think. Is it Maria? Maria does it in ROH, as
Yes,
she does,
she's the first lady of ROH.
but she's also able to wrestle.
Yeah.
She also wrestles. So technically, do we classify her as a valet or a wrestler?
She's more of a valet than a wrestler nowadays.
Because she gets paid more for doing it though.
Yeah.
And also, look, he gets over half and other shows, even though he's probably already on those other shows
Yes.
of Michael Bennett.
I have an interesting theory behind this.
Okay.
Sure.
So, back in the 90s, when women valets were at the peak,
Yep.
it was because sex sells. Now, I might offend someone with this explanation. So, if you're easily offended, I do apologise for how this explanation is going to come across beforehand. So, in the 90s...
Let me just point this out. These are not the following.
Oh, here we
These are
go.
not a part of the Burning Truth.
I've already said it's my theory.
Yeah.
So,
There you go.
back in the 90s, sex sold, didn't it? In American mainstream
It
audience.
started to sell a lot more.
Right,
It was more
so,
the attitude.
yeah, so you had people like Sonny, as I was showing you, who back in 1997 came back with Legion of Doom 2000 and wore basically next to nothing to bring out the Legion of Doom. Now, the valet back then, their role was to distract and aid, which was basically what a manager would do. But they wouldn't do it in quite the same way that, say, a Jim Cornette or a Jimmy Hart would do it.
Either way,
They would be
Bobby.
using their assets to entice the referee or the other person. Similar way to what Maria did a couple of years ago with Shelton Benjamin on that infamous picture that we have got on our Facebook somewhere.
I believe that would be on ROH at a ROH event.
Yeah,
The complete shock and surprise look of Shelton Benjamin's face, which is, once you see it, you'll never forget it.
right, okay, so that happens, and it still happens, but not as much. So you also had Deborah McMichaels, who came out, but then you had Tori, you had Goldust had his partner,
Terry Reynolds.
you had the Cat.
Yeah.
So you had these women who had no wrestling experience and didn't want to be female wrestlers. They were people who just wanted to get television time, but were happy to be paid, but were also happy to be objectified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas now, so fast forward a couple of years, so you end the Attitude Era,
Yep.
and you come in, and I think we're
The
about
start of the-
2001, which is the Ruthless Aggression Era.
Yeah.
If I can call it that.
Yeah,
I think
you
it's
can.
about
Yeah, you can.
2001. So that came in, you had Trish Stratus, who was managing TNA, might be a year before or something like that. And she'd just come in, and they announced it as a model. Not a wrestler, she came in as a model
Yes.
on Sunday Night Heat.
Check.
You also had, at the time, so bring it forward
Lita?
a bit more,
With
Lita,
she was before, wasn't she? A lot before.
yeah, but she was also
A wrestler.
She was the first one that came across that could actually wrestle
Yeah.
and wasn't just there for eye candy. So I excluded Lita from what I'm about to say.
Yeah,
So-
because she sort of redefined.
Yeah. So you have now Stacy Keibler,
Yes.
Tori Wilson.
Tori Wilson, and Dawn Marie Bitch. As she was called in ECW.
NECW.
So they came across and they were still being objectified. You know, they were made to do bra and panty matches, pillow fights, lingerie pillow fights, and whatever else the WWE.
Mud wrestling
Yeah, but
contest.
Yeah.
if they were managing, they were also not wearing very much still. They were still being objectified, using their assets to gain victories. You saw it when Stacey Keibler was the Duchess of Dudleyville. Like they had her doing pole dancing at Times Square. When WWE had their...
Times Square building.
Yeah, in the middle of Times Square. So you saw that. So we move forward. Ruthless Aggression ends, and we come into
The PG.
pre-G. So pre,
Oh yeah, where you could, you know.
where public perception has now changed.
And it's become more
You know,
family.
women's,
orientated.
women are getting more along of their rights of why are we being objectified. You know, you got people like Lita who could wrestle just as good as the men,
And Trish Stratus.
and Trish Stratus who had learned to craft.
And then you got Victoria who started coming in.
Victoria Jazz.
She was
Oh.
one mean bitch.
So as WWE's moved forward, in the same time, it has gone from private listed to public. Now, Vince needs to bring in his share price. So he needs to make sure that the company is maintaining its share price on the stock market. And if it isn't, he can't do that if he's objectifying women, because he needs his stock to maintain. So what's it going to do if your women on tally are wearing next to nothing, but you're still running a PG show, and they're flaunting sex around?
It can. It also.
Get kicked off the air.
It was
Shareholders going out, and that means
Lawsuits, you know. He is being seen as giving a bad image to the public of America, but he still needs to show that there is equal opportunities.
Yes.
So this is why now you are seeing more women wrestlers and less managers and valets. I use manager stroke valets because some of the female managers, like we had Shaniqua, who I wouldn't class as a valet, I class her more of a manager because she was more intimidating than half the wrestlers. China. Would you class China as a valet?
No. Bodyguard, wrestler.
You know, Beth Phoenix.
No, just take into account. China was knocking around the guys.
Yeah.
She was clotheslining Mankind into next week.
But now they have to persuade an image of equal opportunities, but without having the domestic violence occur. You know, there's no more putting women through tables on WWE television. You know, you are not seeing the Dudley Boys put women through tables on WWE television.
Nope.
You might see it on TNA television.
You're not seeing The Rock do rock bottoms on women. You know, like at WrestleMania.
Or Steve Austin stunning women that much anymore.
No,
You know, like that was towards the end of
that
what
was coming to
cost.
the end.
Yeah, you know, it hasn't happened in the PG era. So, the overall thing of why women aren't valeting more is because it's a change in time. WWE have got to keep up a perception of equal opportunities. So, unless someone wants to come in and be a valet, say Alana, you know, some people are suited more to valeting than they are to wrestling.
or when Lita was coming to near the end of her career when she went with Edge.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
but you've got people like Lana now who are probably more suited to valeting because they can speak on the mic.
However, I'm expecting that to be leading to her coming into the ring.
I don't think she will.
I don't know why. I just
Because now that you've got people like Charlotte, Becky Lynch,
Sasha Banks. Bailey to a certain extent. You've got
yeah,
Emma. You've got
Paige,
and then you've got the
Natalia.
Bellas, Natalia. You can
all
actually-
these women can wrestle. Now, we've never seen Lana wrestle, but can she hold the same standard as them? You know, Eva Marie has
apparently.
had...
Yeah.
Apparently she can. Like, I mean, she can go.
Mm.
Don't talk to me about Eva Marie. Oh,
Eva Marie has had the biggest problem of all because she was brought in as eye candy for the
Yeah.
magazines. She wasn't brought in to wrestle. She was brought in for the publicity for Total Divas and magazine shoots like Muscle and Fitness. She was brought in to get the image on that side. But now more women are seeing that, we can have equal chances to the men. Why should I be a valet when I could be a professional female wrestler? But the valet is a dying art, because you can still have a classy valet without having to flaunt everything. Miss Elizabeth is one of the most
The original.
recognised female valets in professional wrestling.
History.
And she
Definitely.
was successful.
Yeah.
She broke the mould.
She's the one who sort of started the valets.
Where you can look pretty and, look nice and, stand there and be with your man, as put in, like, little posh remarks.
But without being,
Without
giving too much away.
without giving too much away. and
She
being
always wore
objectified.
dresses that never showed anything off as well, if you think
Yeah.
about it.
But whereas...
If I recall, at one event, as she was coming down the entrance, they had somebody protecting her because they didn't want anybody, because she was, Savage was very protective of her.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't want, her being objectified by fans, being touched inappropriately or anything. So they had, and I will say, she did have quite the bodyguard to guide her down to the ring. The very first Intercontinental Champion, Pat Patterson.
I mean, not be nasty, you could actually just trust him not to touch you because,
Oh no, he literally just he had his arms like a box sort of away from her to make sure that nobody was touching.
But people are now... I think we'll see a revival in the next couple of years
hopefully.
because people are realising that the female division is moving across at a quick speed. So you're now seeing people like Summer Rae. Summer Rae has got the potential to be a good female valet. I just don't think for Rusev.
I think they're sort of just trying to get Rusev something to get started on.
Yeah.
But who knows? It could either be something that could lead on to something else, or it could just be something to sort of they're trying different things, which in some cases some wrestling companies tend to do that to see if something's going to work, or if it doesn't work. If it doesn't work there, they know not to try something else later on. It could just be like a little tease test.
Mm-hmm.
So
if you bear with me, and then I could
get a second question off the person.
Well, a subject that I've seen. Well, there is actually a subject I do like.
I've got them now. I just need to get them back.
Well, to be honest, can I just mention this quickly?
Yeah.
And it actually fits in with the fact that of the equal rights that you mentioned recently, and I've actually discussed this with yourself earlier in the car. A lot of people have been sort of exploding over something recently that happened to do with Candice LeRae.
Do you mean the Celtic Alexander and Candice LeRae when he did
The-
his finisher? I'm sorry, but was that the end of the match?
I'm
very against it because not because of them two. I think that they got the silly rule. A man should be against a man and a woman should be against a woman. I'm sorry, if it's in gender, then it should be a man versus a woman or a woman versus a man. I know it sounds silly, cause, like most men can punch a woman and just be out. Yes.
No, it's some people are arguing, saying like one person that comes to mind who's been arguing against female women against male wrestlers would be Lance Storm. He's actually arguing against it, saying it's sort of condoning male on female violence, which
I can get that though.
no, because how we present it, because at the moment there's the message that they're trying to get across to kids: don't try this at home. But kids, when they do wrestling, they sort of, when they get pulled up on it, we were just trying to copy the thingy. Now he's questioning when's it going to be when's it going to happen in that scenario. We were just wrestling.
See, now this comes back to a thing of equality.
Yeah,
which I've just been on about.
which you've just been on.
If you don't let males compete against females, you're always going to have the women there going, well,
Arguing, saying
We can go against males.
we're just as good.
And
yeah,
we're just as
you
good.
know, we're just as good. Why won't you? Like, and I didn't realise this until it was brought up at work. Did you know that females can compete in the English Premier League if they got signed by a team?
Oh,
But men can't go across to the Women's Football League.
oh,
Why?
Because Women's Football League is just for women, because it's the Women's Football League. But there's nothing in the Barclays Premier League that says it's just for men.
Oh. So, some new
It's the same with darts. Like, I know this is probably like one of the worst examples in the world, but a female can compete in the World Championships, but there's no rule. Like, there's a rule that you can't compete in the women's. You know, so is it like there?
Yeah.
It's a case of if you don't let them do it. You know, people go, it's encouraging domestic violence, but if you don't, I reckon Ronda Rousey could beat half the male UFC fighters if given the chance.
in claim
But-
arms.
Yeah, but if you don't let it happen,
You never know.
there's always going to be people there going,
Doubting.
yeah. So it's a double-edged sword. You're always going to have people going, well, this is encouraging violence.
There's no easy right
and
answer.
wrong answer.
Or wrong
But
answer.
Cash 2020, isn't
it
it?
should always be up to the performers. If they're happy to perform with each other, then they should be.
Yes.
Yes, and as long as everything's
Safe and done.
safe, it's all good. Everybody's fine with it,
But as long as the two performers, or four performers if it's a
or
tag,
whoever.
are happy to perform with each other and understand the risks that are involved, then that's fine. But you should always be happy performing with who you're with.
Yes. Like we said before, there is no easy right, wrong answer to this. It's like we've already said, it's a double-edged sword, because on one side you've got people saying, oh, it's unfair, it's focusing on this, but on the other side, if we're saying, oh no, stop it, it can have other people saying, well, why not? Women, they can be just as good.
Okay, so moving on.
Take a right turn
Anyway,
to the second question.
That's
Right,
that.
so
I'm glad that we just got that covered out the way, because we haven't.
I'll
covered.
merge these into one. So, he says, now that the NXT women have appeared on Raw to make it fair game against Team Balor,
Yeah.
do you think they'll give them more time to perform, or will they just be fed to Nikki to make her reign stronger? And to move on from that, when it's time for Nikki to lose the Divas Championship, who do you think it'll be to take over the belt?
Ooh.
I think they'll get a push now because everyone's seen them on NXT, and they'll expect the same for NXT. And of course, guess what that means? Give them more time.
As it's been said in the past, give Divas a chance.
I think they will, because now you got if anyone's follows social media or anything like that, or like the dirt sheets, there is a thing called the 4 horsewomen of pro wrestling of Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Bayley. And Triple H loves them. So I think they will get the push of more time and more creativity.
No, but I think with the question that they're saying is somebody going to be stepping up to take out, Nikki Bella before the longest reigning streak gets beaten, or are they going to get fed?
No, it's a two-part question. So,
No,
is this angle just to feed?
I'm on about the first part.
Yeah, so
Is
is
this-
this just to feed the
No, I don't-
NXT to
no,
Nikki
no.
Bella to make her stronger?
No, I think it's just to give these women now they've had the NXT exposure. Now let's give them the worldwide exposure without the WWE network, because you've got places that can't have WWE network,
Yeah,
but they've only got television.
yeah.
So let's feed them to that, and let's give them the opportunity. I don't think they'll be fed, and I think Paige will take it off. By the way, and the second part of the question, I think Paige will do it at SummerSlam.
Right, so I'll go through this now before you do. So, one of the things that I found interesting, Do I think that they'll be fed to Nikki Bella? No. I don't think they'll be fed to Nikki Bella.
Well, let me just jump in. I think if they did,
If they did,
I
there
think with
would be
all of
one
us,
hell of an anarchy.
I think with all of us, we're all unanimous on this.
Yeah,
No.
so they won't be fed because there's too much wrestling talent in there. As you saw on Raw, it got quite
It got the reaction.
messy quite quickly though. It got a reaction, but it got messy because
However, if you actually watch that segment, did you see the chop across the face?
yes, but what I was about to say is it got messy quite quickly because NXT work a more aggressive style.
Yeah.
So they work a more aggressive style, whereas the main roster, apart from Paige, aren't really used to it.
And they sort of...
And I'm surprised Natalia's not in that.
I'm
I'm surprised Natalia is not in that segment because she can go. Her and Charlotte have had great matches.
Oh, definitely. Which we've seen on Raw,
I think that's because she's with
TJ, Tyson Kidd.
Tyson Kidd. Yeah, I think that personally. So
Yeah.
But, so that answers that question. No, they won't be fed. If anything, it'll help progress them.
Yeah.
Now, when looking who will take the belt off Nikki, I think Nikki will be AJ Lee's reign first. I don't think she'll lose the belt until that reign's been broken. Because it must kill Vince and Stephanie to have AJ Lee at the top of the
Longest reign.
of the top of the longest reigns. It must kill them, to know that CM Punk's wife is the top of the longest reigning Divas champion in history. So,
Yeah.
who best?
But you can argue that though, because why must there feel with CM Punk being the long reigning WWE champion in the last, what is it, 10, 20 years?
Yeah, in the modern era.
Yeah, but they can go. Yeah, well, he don't hold the longest reign overall, though, does he?
Yeah, true.
But if you look at the Divas Championship, if you ask anyone who has the longest reign, they know straight away it's AJ Lee.
As the Divas champion, but not as the women's champion.
No, because that was Mae Young.
Yes.
You'd have to go some way to beat Mae Young's record.
What's 20 years?
Something like that.
20, 25 years?
Oof.
Bruno's was like 11 in total, but yeah, nothing compared to Mae Young.
But that's a different argument for a different day, Mae
Yeah.
Young's when we start already.
No, Fabulous Moolah, not Mae Young.
Yeah,
Yes.
Fabulous Moolah.
Sorry, we got
Yes,
confused.
yes,
You
you
know.
got confused.
But,
Well,
He's the
she,
most-
she had it, lost it, and then, eventually got it back.
But that was in a screw job though.
Which,
now, to finish off my part, who will take it over? Becky Lynch.
oh. You think Becky Lynch?
There's a reason behind this.
Okay.
I don't think Sasha Banks' current gimmick will get over on the main roster at the moment because it's too blingy. It'll be good for a little bit, but it won't stay on the mainstream appeal because
So
it's a bit blingy, it's
You
a bit
think
out
it's
there.
too
It's-
aficionado?
It's a bit like Corey Greaves' gimmick. Like, that would not go over on the main roster.
Okay.
Charlotte is over, but she's only over because of one reason.
Woo! Woo!
Well, I say one reason. She's a heck of a wrestler. But everyone knows she's Ric Flair's daughter. And, it's a bit like Natalia. Everyone knows she's related to Bret Hart. That's an extra push.
Her dad's Jimmy Amble, my heart.
Yep.
But it's an extra push. She's a brilliant wrestler. So I'll retract that. She's only over for one reason. But she's a heck of a wrestler. But she's a Flair. And she still needs to distinguish herself from her father's shadow.
Which has got to be tough because, with Goldust and, with Goldust when he was trying to wrestle,
Whereas...
I think
But
admittedly, Goldust as much as you can say with Vince, he made he gave him originally because I know Dusty Rhodes wasn't exactly thrilled with the whole idea of the Goldust.
no, apparently he was enthusiastic about it. He was really
No. If you actually watch some of the DVDs, he actually says at first he couldn't believe it at first, but then
he couldn't believe it.
No, he couldn't believe it. He was thinking to himself, "What's he going to do with this?" Blah blah blah. He was a little bit worried, but he was so glad that when he did it, he was sort of able to break away from the shadow.
It's not that. It's always if you're a second generation superstar. especially if your dad's been so big, like when you're Ric Flair's daughter, how are you going to feel them boots? How are you going to feel
You know,
being 16-time World Heavyweight Champion?
Am I able to
Mr.
finish off my
Styling and
reasoning now?
profiling.
I've
Carry
been
on.
interrupted fucking 3 times
Sorry,
in the last
No,
3 minutes.
I interrupted Matt Burns once, not you.
There you
So,
go.
whereas Becky Lynch is a blank canvas. You know, she isn't a champion, so she hasn't got to lose to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
She isn't a second generation superstar.
And Shakers
And-
and Snoop Dogg.
And Vince will look at her, because we all know it's still Vince and not Triple H who books the main shows, who has
Yeah.
the final say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vince is like, be all and end all.
Yeah, and he will look at the other ones and going, well, that's Flair's daughter, she'll get a title run eventually, because
Sasha Banks, she'll get it eventually, she's just not yet.
her gimmick won't transcend to the main roster. I don't
Yeah.
think she could prove me wrong.
She could.
But Becky Lynch is a blank canvas to Vince. He could look at that girl and go, out of the 3 of you, you are the one I can take now, and I could push to the moon, and no, I can mould you a different way. Whereas you're still going to be the boss because you've had the NXT exposure. You know, people are going to want to see that. Whereas she's only wrestled about 6 matches on NXT, hasn't she, Becky Lynch? 6-10 matches tops.
No, a lot more than that.
It is more than that.
I was having a look at the rankings today. She's only wrestled between about 10 and 12 matches on NXT.
I thought it was a bit more than that.
No.
Because she was the blue chip, she was her original Shimmer gimmick, her original good girl gimmick. Where she was like the dancing
I was
Irish
having a
girl.
look earlier, and like the wrestling rankings I looked at, I might be wrong, but televised matches,
That's probably it then.
she's only had between 10 and 12, whereas Charlotte's had loads.
Mm.
She's had 30, 40 matches. Sasha Banks, because she was part of the BFFs
Yep.
before, she's had loads of matches, whereas Becky Lynch, she is still like a blank canvas, still trying to find that gimmick that works. And if Vince wants something that he can push forward and mould after Nikki Bella, there it is.
Right. I can't say that's actually a bad call, because in all fairness, she is technically a mould that would be good for the current now.
A current gimmick, is
What?
a mix between Jeff Hardy's, AJ Lee's,
And she's also got the unique finisher as well.
yeah.
The reverse
Fujiyama.
Fujiyama armbar,
She's trained by Balor.
which I will put up my hand up and say, right, as soon as I caught wind, I thought to myself, as soon as she locked it in, even I thought, that's a finish. And I saw the tap, I thought, brilliant. It's the way she's made the Fuji armbar look more devastating.
But no,
Would you agree?
Yeah.
but her entrance now is a little bit like Jeff Hardy's, the little rundown, in a different sort of character mindset. It's got a bit of AJ Lee because it like the fantasy comic background that it comes from,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's still a little bit of Balor in there.
Yeah.
I can see Finn Balor when I
And
look at.
some fit Finlay, because she's of course Irish, and of course, he's still very big with female talent. He always has, because he can actually make a female talent.
Yeah.
Every single woman who's ever wrestled there has gone, Fit Finlay can do that. No.
And is Sarah Del Rey helping her to work that gimmick?
Which I can already see the smile on your face as soon as that name was mentioned.
Greatest women's wrestler who's ever lived. I don't care what anybody says. That one was
Have you gone
amazing.
for yours?
Here's what
Yes,
done is it's
mine was
I believe
Paige.
it's me. As we've already said, I don't think they're gonna get fed at all, and I think this is gonna be like the next step for their career. Which it will be. It'll be the next journey. The next page.
The main bit is this bit. Who do you think is going to take the title off Nikki?
I don't think Paige will, because she's had too many chances. However, I do think someone from NXT will, but I don't quite think it'll be Becky Lynch. I don't. I think don't know why. For the life of me, I'm expecting either be Charlotte or the Boss.
Woo!
But if I have to pick, I'm going to go with the Boss. I'm gonna have to go with the boss. And as much as you can say too much bling, okay, it is for the way she comes in. When she gets in that ring, she switches it.
I love the finishes.
No,
And she's a great wrestler.
That's what I'm saying to you. She switches it.
Our office is ringing, man.
She switches it on the call. You know,
She's
yeah.
ever ringing in our office. Josh, be shot.
Don't worry about it.
Out of hours.
It's all
You
sorted.
let me down. You let Nathan down.
I haven't let anybody down.
You've let me down. You've let Carlson down.
Really?
Right.
You're going to go down this road?
You've let
podcast-
the burning truth down.
And you let all our
You had
fans
one job.
down.
One job.
And I
wasn't
got
even-
it done.
And it wasn't even turned off the computer either.
I haven't got it
It
done.
wasn't. If you turned it off and on again, it was. Can you please just put the reception phone on mute?
It's off.
Yeah,
It's
now.
done. But I got the mic on. I
It's
haven't got
done.
a lot of
Apparently
pressure.
his son.
It's done.
You're as bad as Kyle.
And he's a bastard.
Get lost. Right. Back on the topic. I do think the boss will take it because the way she wrestles in the ring.
The finish looks brutal. That bank statement looks awesome.
And it's not just that. It's the fact that she's got that edge in the ring. And would you agree? She seems to have that little edge in the ring. You know, the fact that when she comes in, she literally comes in hard.
But that's what Nathan said earlier. The NXT roster,
Which it is.
are stiffer.
But I do,
Than the main roster,
but
apart from
I
Paige.
do think Sasha Banks has got a little bit of an edge.
You think she's got the it factor, basically?
Yeah, I do.
Why didn't you say that then?
No.
What
I
did you
am
say?
saying it.
Yeah, but you was
Whoa,
making
whoa.
you was
Stop.
making it far fresher, going all around these edges.
No, but like
this.
but like you said, Charlotte, she's Flair's daughter. She will eventually, she will be getting that title shot down the road. But I think with Becky though, they're not going to sort of push her straight into the title picture.
Why not?
I think
Out of everyone that needs the exposure, out of them three.
I think they're going to mould it into something better. I don't.
Out of everyone that needs the immediate exposure, out of them three, and that would benefit the title run.
Becky Lynch, because she's not as
No, but
big.
no, but she does need it. But this is WWE logic.
A title
I
isn't
think-
always given to someone who deserves it at that time. It's
True.
also used as the additional kick up the ass
Which it can be.
to push a person or woman to the next level.
Yes. But however, I do think Sasha Banks herself, and I
Okay.
do agree with you. I do think Nikki will beat the streak of longest reign.
She's never been in The Undertaker. She can't even lie down for more than a 2 count for John Cena.
Well. Anyway, that was a
Fantastic.
fantastic man.
I didn't say mom.
Because
I'm not-
I believe,
Do you really believe?
Bear this in mind,
if you will.
if you will. The fucking wood.
Right then,
You will,
so-
baby.
We'll go on to Battleground predictions, and then I think we'll end up there for this week.
I believe that we will.
I have a question, but we'll do background first.
Go on.
Well, we'll go to the question, then we'll finish Battleground.
What are your opinions on imports being overused? I mean, like companies using them for. Say, if a company's got a sponsor.
Oh, just before you do that, our question was sent in by Miss Moeko. That question about the demons. So I'll get
Yep.
that across. I don't know if this has been sent in to you, but
That's me.
No. You two see these messages. I don't see none of it. The only messages I see are some idiots on Facebook slagging me off on messages, so I don't care.
Okay, so
He's
what's
got
your
his thing.
question?
He's happy.
I got complaints. Because you get companies get sponsors, so of course they get a little bit more income. So it means they can get the import in when they're around. But of course, imports now are around like near enough every week, and they get imports in and using for every show. Do you think that's wise? And it's fair enough. Do you think that it's killing the import's credibility? Because what happens if that import doesn't come and their crowd goes from here to here. I went from really high to really low because
It's, you mean like sort of if you've got an import ready to be there, unfortunately due to certain problems they have to cancel.
no, not that. No, if the import's not here, regardless, and they
right.
can't use the import, and they won't use British talent either.
Oh,
Because there are some companies who don't use British talent. They'll use some British talent, but they won't use like a Ligero or a Marty Skull or a Haskins or a Nathan Cruz or
or
any
an
of that.
Andor.
Or a Dart, or a Grado, or a Jester, or whoever. Or a Mastiff, even.
Oh,
Who became PCW heavyweight champion, by the way, at Fight for the Troops 2.
that you did?
Cheeky plug.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So I'll have a quick go at answering this because I'll probably end up offending someone again. Imports in British wrestling. I believe there's a place for them.
Yes.
That's the simple answer. The explanation behind it is because people will come and watch a normal show, but you won't get as many people. You'll just get your die-hard fans. Whereas if
Your
you bring
regulars.
in, you'll get your regulars from that area. But as you've proven when I go to wrestling shows, I look at the card and I look who might be coming in.
Well,
So
I think a good example of this would be.
Chris Masters, when you went to see Chris Masters.
yes,
Oh no, yeah, I was just about to bring that up.
LCW.
Yeah, and he just goes, "Who's on the card?" First name I've dropped. Oh, Chris Masters going to be there. Done.
Like, but
He was sold.
but we went back and watched LCW without the imports, and we still liked it. But
Yes.
I think imports have a place because it brings in the extra fans who might not have seen your product before, because they might not have.
They could be followers of Masters.
Yeah.
Big fans of Masters. And
So
they've come to the show and then realise, oh, hang on, they haven't just got like, Masters is here, but they haven't, they've got more than.
something that Jerry the
Imports.
King Lawler said ages ago. Your imports were used, like, because back in the territory days, imports were classed as someone from another territory. A Dusty Rhodes, a Harley Race, or someone like that.
Ric Flair.
Yeah, they were used to come from a territory to this territory to bring TV ratings in and bring butts into seats that didn't necessarily come before. And then it was the rest of the card's job to grab the attention of them of the people that have come in that haven't tuned in before to maintain every week, because that same import wouldn't be there every week. So if you were bought in by that import, it's the rest of the roster's job to keep the people there.
To keep bringing them back.
Yeah, so, all that import can do is bring you the people. He can't make them stay there week after week
Because he's going to be moving.
because he's going to be moving to different shows, taking some of these people with him. If he's got a following, someone like Chris Masters can draw a crowd on his name.
Which he does.
Someone like Grado. Grado is now becoming that popular, he could draw a crowd where he goes. Rock City proved that. If you asked, I reckon, 30 out of 50 people there who they were there to see the most, the two people they would have said is Grado and Drew Galloway.
Most of all. And the fact
People didn't know Jester was... Yeah, and Sabu. But Sabu was the one to bring in the hardcore fans. Whereas Grado is... People love Grado because he's
he's
basically the British Dusty Rhodes. He is that common man.
Yep. I can't digress with that.
So, I think the imports have a place, but you shouldn't stack your card with imports, because then that doesn't give your local talent a chance to shine. So it's about getting the balance right. Maybe one or two things, because you can go to the other end of the spectrum, where someone like a Southside or a PCW brings in 6 or 7
Which,
imports,
yeah.
and it doesn't give the British talent as much chance to shine.
Yeah. I can see... imports
When
can have an impact on wrestling and can have a negative.
yeah, like we
Where
went
if-
Southside and
You've got too many imports. It's sort of watering down the local talent.
Yeah,
It's sort of
like-
saying. It's sort of saying we need these
Yeah.
to get over, but at times I think they need the British wrestling as well.
so we
Which-
went Southside.
Yeah,
We saw Tatanka,
Tatanka, Chuck
Chuck
Taylor,
Taylor,
not being it.
Soldier Ant,
Melina.
The
The
Young Bucks,
Young Bucks, Drew Gulak.
Drew Gallagher.
Is that the correct pronunciation? Just that.
Yes.
So that's
Sorted
7.
out. Yep.
And how big was the card? We had Chris Sabin, there's 8.
8.
So that's 8 imports on a show.
Yeah. That's quite a lot, but they were sort of going against the British talent, and the main event was British versus,
England versus America.
No, it wasn't. It was England versus England. I mean, well, no, the actual...
The main event was the Young Bucks versus...
Yeah, which it was. I was referring
the
to
Hunter
the heavyweight. The heavyweight title match.
I class the main event as the match to close out the show.
Yeah, no, I was trying to think of the title match.
Yeah,
The one
but...
that usually is the main event. Usually. And you'd got the, you got, was it Robbie X versus Joseph Connors?
Yeah.
Now, the question that you've got is, with you bringing in Americans all the time, does that take away from others? Are they taking away from the British side too much? Now, that could be a yes and no answer, because that could if you bring in somebody in, that could either make the British guys step up to go harder, to do better.
Or it could put them off.
Either way.
Because there's not a lot of chance for them to shine. Like the match tonight that stuck out to me there didn't involve any imports.
I believe that would be the tag match between Page's brothers.
Yeah, and...
The London Riots.
Yeah.
Against, the UK Hooligans versus the London Riots. And I think you gravitated to them because of the way how impactful the match was.
It was a stiff
And
battle.
if I recall, I think people were questioning if the ring was broken.
Yeah. But no, that's that. How do you two feel about imports?
Me personally, I think you couldn't have described that any better. From my point of view, because it's a hit and miss. It can be good and bad. It can have a positive effect. It can have a negative effect. Now, the only question you've got to make sure of is if you are bringing an import in. You want them to be on their game. You don't want just bringing an import and them not being bothered. Because you want to, push forward. Would you agree with this?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you don't want to, how annoyed would you be if you booked a wrestler that come over and they just didn't even have any wrestling gear?
Well, a problem with an import, which happened recently. So, Alberto Del Rio, or Al Patron, was booked to main event a charity show.
Yes.
Didn't show.
Ouch.
It's for autism.
Yeah. Now that's the problem you've got with an import. Ultimately, you're relying on them to keep their word. Most imports won't even take the booking unless you pay them before.
Yes.
Yes, paying deposit.
And also...
So, what happens if they don't show up? Do they pay you your deposit back?
Is that...
No.
Is that... the question is, the first thing that's going to be asked is, have they not turned up because of a missed flight, something going wrong,
Well, he won't answer his phone.
or is he literally...
Like, this
missing
show,
it?
they paid his fee, his travel,
Oh,
his hotel, and his flights.
then if he hasn't turned up, then it's not right.
And that company won't get that back.
That's probably done some damage as well, because with them saying they're going to get a wrestler, then they haven't turned up. They're going to question the next time they've got a big wrestler on that poster, is he actually going to turn up? So it's going to have not just affect the wrestler himself.
Sid Vicious had a habit of
A very big habit. Very, very big habit of it. Scott Hall unfortunately has that habit.
But you're paying for these big imports.
I mean, it helps when they're already in if you got on like the day after another show, but you definitely got in there, but...
Well, do you? Because what stops someone going out on an all-out piss-up and not wanting to wrestle the next night?
Which is true, but the thing, it's very hard with that, because everyone's got a different view, a very different view on how they want to carry themselves. Some people have they're on a show, they won't touch any drinks or anything. they'll probably have a good night rest then, so they're ready for tomorrow.
Or you've got a Ric Flair, or a Dusty Rhodes,
or you got your Ric Flairs who's go out partying, and then sort of quickly trying to recover to get to a show, or hoping that the show will help them recover.
Like Jericho, he went out on all night booze and then performed in the Royal Rumble for 35 minutes the next day.
That was infamous for it though, but someone described it, I think Terry Taylor did, also Terry Gordon, whoever it was, someone called Terry.
Bam Bam.
No, I don't think it was Bam Bam. Like recently, he said, I was hard, they booked me as Flair. I mean, he looked all scruffy, he was drunk, he was all messy, he didn't know, he just wanted the coffee, he was going to sleep. Literally, he went out to the ring. He went to the other side of the building because he couldn't stand Flair. The match is like another 30 minutes, so he thought, fuck this, let's go. Went out to the ring and he saw Flair come out. His teeth are white, his hair's all done, he's clean, he smells nice, he freshened up, he became the Nature Boy and gassed him out in 30 minutes. And made him wrestle another 15 on top.
Like, some people perform like that, but that's my view on imports.
Yes.
So we'll go on to Battleground predictions, and then we'll wrap this episode up in a nice little pretty bow.
Yeah. Which at the moment, in the prediction league, seeing as we've restarted it, we have got somebody who, it's currently, we have somebody ahead. Does anybody know what the current league is? Who's winning? That would be correct, Mr. Kelsey. That is Mr. Nathan Goff. And I will say that was so lucky by one.
You call it lucky, I call it God.
So we've now got to claim some pride. One of us has got, can one of us literally crawl back and start, equalise with Nathan, or will Nathan continue the lead?
Don't know.
Right, so you're going to pull the matches up.
All I do is a specific bit.
Oh, he's already failing already. I thought he already had him up. I'm joking.
He's got them, haven't you?
No. Oh, wait.
What was that?
Nah, mistake. He's done his job.
Right, so what's the first match?
The
Well,
pre-show match.
Let me just point this out, just in case it's on there, because you've written it off. This is not in any actual order of what they're going to be presented in on the event.
I'm just saying random matches anyway.
That's fine.
Prelim match, no matter what, is going to be R-Truth versus King Barrett again.
R-Truth versus King Barrett.
But this time for Barrett's King of the Ring crown. I think Barrett will win it.
Barrett.
Whee. Match number 2 I'm going to say is Sheamus versus Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
Orton.
Sheamus. Match number 3 is the Primetime Players versus New Day.
Is this for the belts, or?
For the belt.
Prime time.
New Day.
I'm going to have to agree with Mr. Kelsey. The New Day. What have the Primetime Players done with the belts since they've had them?
The New Day pissed people off. The power positive.
I'm going to say
positivity.
prime time.
Sorry.
Positivity.
Positivity, baby.
I'm a dream.
You're taking the mic.
No, we're not taking the minute. With the New Day is, I think the New Day will win it.
I think the New Day will win it.
No. I was about.
No, I wasn't taking the mic. I got tongue tied. I went like positivity.
You were tongue tied.
Yeah, that's what. Did I just say that?
He was all porky pigs.
I was all black. I was all black.
I
I was all black country.
But that's all, folks.
Yeah, I was all black country.
I'm not.
I'm allowed to. It's a place near Dudley, in Dudley, called the Black Country. The whole area is called the Black Country.
Yum Yum Land.
No, I refuse to be called Yam.
Oh,
regardless.
That's what I was waiting for. But I'm
shall
trying to be
ignore
nice.
that.
I'm trying to be nice.
Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt.
I know I want to win the match, but
It's not gonna happen.
no,
It's Roman Reigns.
I want Bray Wyatt to win, but I
think-
reckon Roman Reigns will win.
I want Bray, but it's going to be Roman. It's going to be Roman.
I want Roman, but I'm going to say Bray.
Oh, he just wants to be the odd one.
There's always one awkward fucker, isn't there?
There's always one black sheep.
However, this is either going to go really, really wrong for really, really well for him, or it's going to be completely devastating for him.
Stuff will happen because they've already like put a dirt sheet out of what they want the SummerSlam main event to be near enough. And it's not. It's either going to be Triple H versus Seth Rollins or WrestleMania main event rematch of Reigns versus Lesnar. Lesnar.
Welcome to Suplex City.
Suplex City, bitch. Bench John Cena versus Kevin Owens for the title.
Cena.
I'm finding this tough because Cena has cost me matches before.
So you're going to go with Cena because you don't want to risk the losing.
I'm going to go Owens.
I'm going to go with the referee.
Nah, you can't.
Exactly. I'm going to go Owens because I've always picked Owens, haven't I? He's my hill to die on.
I'm going to go Owens because of the way things have been going lately, and I think it would call for potential, rematch if they wanted another match.
Yeah. And of course, last but not least, Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar.
We know how that's going to go.
Do you?
Yeah. I can only see Seth. As much as it pains me.
Brock Lesnar.
You think Brock? Seth.
But it won't be by domination.
It won't.
Brock Lesnar cannot afford to lose this match.
I think he will, but it's going to be done in a very,
I
very...
think the authority will screw him out. Then if they are having the plan of Seth Rollins versus Triple H, after the match, Triple H going, "No, I've had enough for saving your ass." Boom, drop him like a bad habit. Then of course, it's the face
I'm calling Seth. I'm calling Seth for the win.
Safe's gonna win.
I'm calling Seth.
I'm calling Brock Lesnar
Okay.
because of what is rumoured to be returning at SummerSlam. And this is where it gets interesting. Sting and The Undertaker.
And then of course,
Sting versus Seth Rollins. And I reckon you will see the WrestleMania rematch and Bray Wyatt actually claim his Face of Fear moniker properly this time. Undertaker can afford to lose at not WrestleMania, at SummerSlam.
because it's not WrestleMania.
Yeah. He couldn't afford 2 WrestleMania losses.
Yeah.
He can afford a SummerSlam loss because he only wrestles at SummerSlam. Whereas I think you're on about the Seth Rollins face turn.
Yep.
I think it'll happen after SummerSlam. I think Sting will beat Seth Rollins and Triple H will get annoyed.
Because he was able to beat him, and he'll sort of say, if you're going to do a job, you have to do it yourself.
You're supposed to be the undisputed future of WWE. Yeah, you couldn't beat a washed up past has-been.
Oh.
What a promo that would make.
Well, do we need to say any more on that subject, or shall we save that for?
That's the route that line could go down. You know, Sting's in good shape. He showed that at WrestleMania.
That he did.
Can go 10 or 15 minutes. Not wrestling as many matches as he did in TNA, so it gives his body more time to
He
recover.
can recover.
Make sure that Triple H doesn't have to wrestle at SummerSlam.
Yep.
Because I don't think he'll want to. I think he's happy with his once-a-year WrestleMania appearance.
Yep.
But, and then come Survivor Series, I think you could see the WWE debut of Ronda Rousey.
Oh, so you think...
No.
No. I don't think so, but I think...
The long build to WrestleMania.
You know why it's not going to be at SummerSlam?
I didn't say SummerSlam.
He said WrestleMania.
I
said, I reckon you'll see Ronda Rousey come in at Survivor Series. Not wrestle.
Oh.
But she'll come in at Survivor Series.
To
the long build to WrestleMania.
Sorry, I thought you
the
said
6 month build to WrestleMania.
I thought you said SummerSlam because I wasn't listening.
Survivor Series will start the build. You know,
you were too busy dealing with your popularity, weren't
Triple H and Stephanie McMahon versus Ronda and The Rock. Doesn't need to be a classic. Just needs to be 10 minutes.
10? I'm calling 5.
10 minutes. Give The Rock and Triple H.
No. Okay. 10 minutes.
And give Ronda Rousey 15 seconds to break Stephanie's arm.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think I had more than 10 minutes, to be perfectly honest. The work on The Rock, then Ronda Rousey comes in, starts and done. I personally think that.
Yeah.
But I reckon we'll see Ronda Rousey roughly about Survivor Series.
Hopefully she's not up for another fight. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
She doesn't lose at the end of July, which I doubt it's going to happen, but, never say never.
With UFC, you never say
No,
never.
just never say never with anything, really.
Yeah.
But no, that's where I stand on that. Says our predictions. We've given you all a little bit of spoiler news for SummerSlam. I've even potentially given you a spoiler for Survivor Series if it happens.
Maybe,
You heard it here first. Right.
And if it does happen, why aren't you booking it? Why have you not?
Don't shut up. Just shut up. No. If I know someone on Twitter keep on doing that, this is wrong. Book me.
Oh no, I get what you
Book
mean.
me.
I'm
No.
just joking.
Sorry. Sorry,
I was joking then.
No, you're not allowed to be joking. We like the miserable Matt Burns. Miserable
I'm
Matt
smiling. How the hell can I be miserable?
Death Boy will be miserable then.
Burns. No, it'll still smile because of a certain situation which we're on about.
Go on, try and death blow me. Go for it.
But
I'm ready.
you're not. If I stand up, you're sitting down. You ain't getting up in time.
Right then, put yourself over.
Put myself over. 4-0. Done. I'm sorry.
I mean
had
the
to do-
proper way, you.
You can catch
What?
all of it.
What an idiot.
I put myself over.
Seems to be 4-1.
I'm joking, I'm
4
joking.
and 3, 4 and 4,
Anyway.
5 and 4.
Moving on. You can catch me as usual on The Burning Truth, as always. You can also catch me on Matt Burns UK on Facebook, and I'll do the Twitter this time.
No, I think Nath should do it. You don't have the honours to do it.
Okay. You have the honours to do the Twitter.
Matt the Bad Boy Burns.
And you can catch me on mattburns04@hotmail.com. And would you care to do the plug? The last plug?
And if you want all your good Matt Burns merchandise, your feather boas, your flashing wristbands, your flashing sunglasses, your little armbands, whatever else you want, glow-in-the-dark earrings, anything that can light up and blind the man who wears glasses. You can find all this stuff not on www.shop.com,
Nope.
not on icwshop.com,
On the Matt
on
Burns.
matt-burns.com forward
No.
shop.
It's .co.uk.
And then /shop, or just
Oh,
go on there and then click on the shop,
Click on
and then
merchandise.
it'll come up and you can find all your blind merchandise on there. The Stevie Wonder, the Meatloaf wannabe. He'd do anything for merch, but he won't plug it himself.
I do plug it myself.
I would do anything for merch, but I won't plug it.
I do plug it.
No.
Where can we find you?
Facebook or Charles Kelsey. Keep liking it because I'll just continue going, not saying thank you until we get to 200. I refuse to. I'm a stingy bastard like that. I'm not letting you do it today.
What?
You catch
Burn!
Damn.
Burn, bitch. You catch you on The Burning Truth.
As always.
Yes, and that's on wrestling. And of course, just do it, Matt Burns.
Big deal!
1989 on Twitter.
He sounds so happy to be putting himself over. He sounds like someone has got him in a rear naked joke and going, right, where can we find you now, bitch?
Talk!
I just don't see the point, really.
You sound, you really sound enthusiastic. I thought you believed your own hype.
No, apparently I'm not allowed to believe that because,
Yes, come on.
apparently you can't do
Believe
that
in
now.
yourself.
I believe.
Right, is there anywhere else where we can find you with a bit of, pizzazz?
In a pub? Maybe?
On I'd say wrestling show. I think it's more.
I might be in a pub, just to meet a promoter or to have a nice cheeky drink. Where can we find you, Mr. Goff?
Stoke.
Boom. Is there, where can people contact you?
You can find me on Facebook at Nathan Goff. You can find me on the email, which is theburningtruth@outlook.com. You can find me on Facebook when I occasionally go on there on the on the Burning Truth, but I'll leave these two bunch of Neanderthals to look after it. And where else can you find me? Just drop us an email. you can find me dotting around Stoke-on-Trent here and every week. But apart from that, thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with some more Burning Truth. Keep your questions coming. We are the People's Podcast, and remember to watch your local wrestling and to buy Matt Burns' merch, otherwise he'll cry like a big baby.
And then we'll hear it all week.
I am not upset. I'm smiling.
I'm not having him
I'm
call
smiling.
me again. If he calls me one more time when I'm doing something, going, I didn't sell enough merch.
I don't do that.
Right then, folks. Other than that, thank you for your time. Bye, folks.
Bye.
Bye bye.